Hello everyone, it's Stray Faye here with another episode of Olympia Soiree. We're on, what are we on, chapter 5 of Himuka's route? Last episode had a lot going on, a lot of tragedy. The two lovers down in Yomi, we only saw Mio, I think, but they met a terrible tragic end. I think it's the first time we've seen the consequences of the military trying to track down the Hazushi. They ended up taking their own life. Usually we see them getting dragged away, but this one hit a lot harder because we actually found the bodies. We went with Himuka to send them off. They had to have a different funeral because they're not allowed to be sent off using Batsu. And then we had a moment with Himuka, on the boat, just randomly embracing. But yeah, now Himuka's probably gonna be fleeing from Byakuya. At this point, we're gonna have to chase him down. All right, well, let's start this chapter. A promise to protect. Maybe it's just me, but the sun seems brighter than usual today. I wonder if Lady Amaterasu is blessing the two lost souls. Then again, she might not be. I hear she doesn't like men. Well, it's good that the sun is stable for now. I can do my deliveries with peace of mind. Lady Olympia, may I? Just as I was about to yawn, Shigaya peeked out onto the balcony. Oh, what is it? A messenger has arrived from Kikusui, asking to deliver a letter. Oh, okay. That's not the first time, people on the surface have personally come to our abode to request a letter delivery. They really need to set up a box. At least it's not a request from Nagusa. Alright, let's see where they want us to go. Kikusui. I don't know if we've met this guy. Masuhana! Oh, Lady Olympia! Thank goodness I found you! Masuhana was walking next to another girl. She seemed to be a friend of hers. Which one is it? Yusugi? Yomogi? I ran towards them, waving my hand as I did so. Well, whatever can I do for you? You remember the letter to the Yellow District? I just received... Oh, Yusugi. It's probably for you, right? Oh. Yusugi, don't worry. Calm down. I couldn't understand what just happened. To be exact, I didn't want to know. Her face seemed to be contorted with fear. I'm very sorry. Have I troubled you greatly? Please forgive me for the terrible imposition. She quickly knelt down to pick up her fallen sewing tools with shaking hands. She must be very scared. A spool fell out of her hands again, and she hurried to pick it up with great agitation. Is she scared of me? Yusugi, I'll take care of this. So you just introduce yourself to Lady Olympia. That'll always scare her more. Her entire body stiffened in front of me. Oh, are you the one who wrote the letter? Yusugi, was it? Yes. I came to deliver this to you. It's a reply from Kikusui. Huh? If you like, I'd be happy to deliver your reply. Oh, Don't worry, Yusugi. I'm sure Lady Olympia will not treat you badly or shun you. Shun? I'm terribly sorry. Please forgive my hideous appearance and my impertinence in speaking to you. Unable to reply, I looked over at Masuhana. Yusugi didn't look hideous to me at all. In fact, the little I could see of her eyes was strikingly clear and beautiful. Yusugi was originally from the yellow, but her hair color changed due to illness. And she was recently sent to Yomi. Yeah, we know her from Karoba's route. Now that she mentioned it, it appeared Yusugi had all her hair stuffed into the scarf around her neck. She also wore a hood and a cape over it for good measure. Thank you very much for the letter. I don't know how I could ever repay you, Lady Olympia. What could I say to someone who was on the verge of tears? You should not have to stand in front of someone like me. Yusugi. I had to take her hand in mine. You don't need to be afraid of me. Huh? I would never treat you badly or shun you because of your hair. Lady Olympia. You arrived in Yomi only recently, right? In that case, I'm sure there's a lot you're still getting used to. So let's take everything one step at a time. Yusugi's small hand shook. But trust me when I say this, you're not hideous, and I'll never see you as hideous. I promise you that. Crystal-like tears flowed from her eyes. I'm very sorry. She quickly covered her face, then ran away. Please forgive her for her discourtesy. Masuhana picked up a thimble from the ground and placed it into her pocket. Of course. I hope she's able to feel more settled here soon. Actually, she speaks much more than she did before. When she first arrived, she seemed to be on the verge of death. Which means she's getting better. I'm sure of it. At least I pray that she does. Indeed. Now I should go and check on her. I watched Masuhana as she bowed and walked away. Oh, hi. Morning, sis. I'm meeting a lot of people in Yomi today. Oh, right. Our last interaction with Hairi. Got that. Don't you ever speak to Asaha again. I can't just ignore his bright smile. Good morning, Asaha. You're looking well today. Got that right. Dr. Kuroba says I gotta eat and sleep right if I want to grow up big and strong. That's true, you know. I'm glad to hear that. So have you run into Hairi lately? I told him to be a bit more friendly. Not yet. We did, but... I'm sorry to lie to you, Asaha. I see. Well, if you ever see him, try and have a chat. He promised he'd be friendlier next time. I'll do that. Well, I'm off to work now. See ya. See you. I'm such a horrible person. You tell him Hairi was a big old brat to us last time we talked. I'm surprised he was able to get him to promise to be friendlier. As I pondered over our conversation, I felt someone suddenly pull on my jacket. Oh? What the? Ah! Hi, Hairi. Okay, it's just you. You don't mean any harm. You're just gonna spit some venom, but that's it. Hey, monster girl. How many times do I have to tell you to stay away from Asaha? Hairi! He stood in front of me, making no attempt to hide that he would fight me if he could. I doubt this is him trying to be friendlier with me. Maybe we just gotta do it the way the dwarves do it, with fists. And then we drink afterwards. And then we be friends. In fact, I don't even want to see you here in Yomi again. That white hair of yours is an eyesore. With a heavy sigh, I straightened myself up. Hairi, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. First, I won't ever stop my deliveries. I started them, so I'm gonna make sure they continue. As for Asaha... he has the freedom to dream, and should have the freedom to make his dream come true. I mustered my strength to speak with courage I gained from Akaza. There's nothing wrong with wanting to go up to the surface. You already know, don't you, Hairi? That Asa wants to be a doctor. It's never gonna happen. Hairi! I mean, Kuroba did it. Like, you managed to get on the surface by selling newspapers. It was the first time I was actually irritated with him. Like, can't just squash his dreams like that. Someone who is supposed to be Asa's brother should never be so unsupportive. Don't you say that to him. Don't you dare say that in front of him. Humph. I'm trying to be friendlier, but I don't care what you think of me. But this is Asaha's dream. You should support him. It's a waste of time to dream of something that won't come true. My irritation began to change to confusion. I mean, you shouldn't stifle his growth. If he wants to learn to be a doctor, that's a wonderful thing. Like, you could even become, like, an apothecary, like Yosoga, to help treat people down in Yomi. Like, you can't just restrict him, just because he might not be able to go to the surface. Why is he so adamant about it? He was obviously mistreated and shunned himself. But surely Asa has been through the same thing. Asa was cautiously optimistic of the future, whereas Hairi was wallowing in despair and hatred for those on the surface. You know what I do for a living, right? Huh? Selling newspapers in Sujiura, right? With my permit, I'm free to go through Kunado. No one can arrest me just for being on the surface. But people still treat me like shit. Look how white she is. She's so creepy. Isn't that the girl from Tenngu Island? Which means she's of the real white lineage. Should we try to nab her? Kuroba's still in the black class, so he's got it easier. But look at Asaha's colors. Even in Yomi, it's strange to see that color mix. That's why they were gonna kill him when he was born. What do you think will happen if he goes up there? How are they gonna look at him? That's why I keep saying he should just stay in Yomi forever. His rough words seem to be motivated by kindness, at least. Hairi wanted to stop Asaha from going to the surface because he was afraid of how Asaha would be treated. I'm actually thankful to Lord Doma of the Yellow for giving us the honor of redemption. I gave a slight frown. Are you talking about the solar link? When me and Asaha die, make sure to burn that damn sun nice and bright, you hear? Hairi! Hey, don't yell at me. I'm only giving you facts. No one in Yomi can see the sun, yet we're the ones being fed to the sun as show. It's so ridiculous it makes me laugh. The back of my eyes burned, but somehow I endured it. Understand now? This is why I hate you so much. If you really like Asaha, make the surface a place where you can actually live free and be happy. Can't do it, huh? Not like you're a god or anything. Then again, since the white can do something about the sun, why not show us a miracle? Come on, show us a miracle. You like Asaha, right? Then do it. Show us a miracle. I managed to hold back my tears. They're more from frustration than sadness. I was frustrated that I couldn't do anything to fulfill that sad request. Come on, say something. I couldn't say anything to him. Listen up, this is my last warning. Don't you dare come near me or Asaha again. Runs away. As soon as he left, tears welled up in my eyes. I can't. People are gonna start worrying if they see me crying here. I quickly dried my tears and hurried back up Yomotsu Hirasaka. Well, we ran all the way back to the manor, huh? Doma of the Yellow, I need to ask you something. Okay, you're gonna ask the big man himself. I headed straight to Doma's study as soon as I returned to the surface. I needed to ask him my question. Say it. Why did you decide to use show of those in Yomi to feel the sun? They live in a world where the sun can't reach. Because it's an honor. In death, they themselves will become the sun. Did you just find it ironic or something? He answered with a cold smile, and my strength began to falter. And you thought that doing so would please them? Maiden of the White, do you mean to denounce me? So this is how you treat the savior of the White bloodline, who created the Solar Link? What an ungrateful child. I somehow held back from yelling at him. I couldn't let my emotions get the better of me. But wasn't there any other way? Before you cast blame, use whatever remaining sense you have to devise an alternative of your own. I staggered back, unable to reply. I mean, Toma's done a lot. Like, being able to keep the sun shining even without the entirety of the Tenngu Island white. Toma was right. I was behaving like a child. I mean, yeah, like, you can't really change stuff now. It just seems ironic, though. A selfish child with no real plans of her own. I'm very sorry. I didn't... Why did you come with me with such nonsense? Have you allowed yourself to be taunted by them? I wasn't gonna give them any names. No one in Yomi was to blame. I have by no means any doubt of the system's merit. The show of those in Yomi are of no use to the shrine pillars, and have long been discarded as useless. Or do you think it is a greater honor to be thus treated and thrown away? The sun's light does not reach Yomi, yet in death they themselves can reach the sun. The Red Calamity. The night of the Crimson Moon, the women of the Tenngu Island perished, and the sun all but faded without their prayers. That is why I created the link, so that even your paltry efforts might suffice as tribute. And you now say you find fault in that. Do you mean to say, Maiden of the White, that you would rather the sun had vanished, so that this world could fall to eternal darkness? That's not... Then the answer should be clear. Sadly, he was right. But what Hyrie expressed was valid too. You know that the souls from the people of Yomi are fed to the sun, right? I was irritated hearing that back then. The show of those in Yomi were discarded. I wonder if Hyrie knows the kind of horrible treatment they got before. Please excuse my ignorance. I should have considered the matter more fully. He's gonna glare at me. I wasn't apologizing in defeat. What I heard today was the truth about this island from different perspectives. That's right. I have one more question if you don't mind. Do you know of a young woman by the name of Yusugi, daughter of Hikusui? Oh, the child who was sent to Yomi. I heard her color traits changed from an illness, but she was formerly of the yellow, right? So why did she have to be sent to Yomi? Unbelievable. His blatant ridicule made me regret asking him. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I could have just asked Akaza or Karoba. You should know it was not the disease that changed her color. Her color changed from taking medicine for Haku. Medicine? There are 2 remedies for Haku. Alright, we're gonna just learn all the lore that we learned from other routes. One is Tokijuku 10, with very few adverse effects, though the odds of recovery are only half. The other is a recently developed medicine, Tokijuku 10 Neck,
cures Haku 90% of the time, but with significant side effects. It turns parts of their body completely black.
Huh?
Though you have remained blissfully unaware until now, the color black is despised and shunned by the people of this island.
Yet your hair is like really black. Like he has black hair. It has some yellow highlights, but like they just explain it away as like, oh, Doma's an outsider, but he still has like the powers of the yellow. Just like how Tokisada has brown hair, he doesn't just have like green hair, like all the people of the green.
The black class must live in Yomi. Hence, it is only natural that she finds her new place there.
Please forgive my hideous appearance and my impertinence in speaking to you. So the reason why her hair was hidden in her scarf was... An indescribable hopelessness swept over me. For someone of the yellow, she must have felt that color black was something to fear. Wait, you don't know what class we in the black are assigned to? It isn't just her. I never noticed since Kuroba talked about it so boldly, but I'm sure the others felt the same way about it. I could now see why he sometimes spoke with sarcasm about his color class. Thank you for your time. Please excuse me. I bowed to him before leaving the room. Alright, to the plaza. Are we looking for husbands or sulking? Ugh. I need to learn how to stay calm. I sat on the bench and sighed to myself. I was actually a little worried about that. I believe it is both your strength and your weakness. I couldn't seem to hold back my emotions and wanting to do something to change things. I need to first learn more about this island and behave maturely. He's right in saying that the link allows the sun to continue shining. Creating the link was the miracle that Doma, the outsider, performed for the island. As much as I hate to admit it, I need to appreciate him for that. But after hearing what Hyrie said, it was hard for me to keep calm. Was there really no other option aside from using the link? I gripped the folds of my skirt in my hands when... Who's coming? Okay, he's nervous. Please don't be Nagusa. Lady Olympia! Huh? Ah! Lady Olympia, please don't go! Young man, who is this? It's that person from before. Wait, from what before? Like in the prologue? Like, a young man appeared in front of me. The same young man who grabbed me when I returned from the stage on my birthday. That happened so long ago. That's like aeons ago. But please don't be frightened. It's only me. I quickly looked around me. Uh-oh. Is he gonna grab me again? I guess he wasn't punished too severely if he's out on the surface again. Maybe just gotten a strict talking to. It was daytime and there were a lot of people here in the plaza. I'm not the same doll I was before either. I just couldn't bring myself to smile when I saw him looking so desperate. I was wondering what happened to him. Good day. Is there something you need? Yes. The young man stepped forward. Uh-oh. I quietly grabbed the hold of the strap on my bag. I could throw my bag at him if he tries to do anything to me. That's right. How rude of me. My name is Enji of the Fuchsia. Do you know Fusao by chance? Enji? Okay, he actually gets a name. Lady Olympia, I heard you're looking for a man to be your husband. Are you going to suggest yourself? I am. Then I wish to offer myself. Okay. I mean, as long as you're polite about it. And just don't try to get all grabby at the get-go. His voice resounded loudly, attracting the attention of others around us.
Did you hear that? He's from the fuchsia.
I don't think he's a noble.
I thought Lady Olympia already had her sights set on Lord Akaza.
No, I heard she was thinking of Lord Nagusa of the Jade. Wait a minute, I'm right here, you know.
You have not decided yet, have you?
No, I haven't chosen anyone yet, but I doubt you're a good candidate. I smiled as graciously as I could, but I could see the madness in his eyes. Alright, yeah. Don't think there's any, like, getting to know him better here. He's like, yeah, he also probably puts us on a pedestal. And, yeah, he's gonna be driven mad by revering us. I am considering it very carefully.
Then will you go on a date with me now?
That's putting a little bit too much pressure here, dude. The murmur slowly blended with chuckles. I felt like we were some kind of attraction now. I'm sorry, but I must decline.
But why?
Why? Because she don't want to.
If so, please use me. I'd be honored to offer my soul for you in the sun.
Because you're a crazy person and you were like ready to lay your life at my feet. I stood up from the bench, slightly irritated. Have you forgotten what you did to me back then? Please excuse me.
Please wait. I really love you.
Ah! He pulled my arm just as roughly as he did before. Uh-oh. You know what happens when someone grabs Byakuya out of the blue. Calm down. I can get out of this myself. Please unhand me.
Lady Olympia!
I will remind you that anyone who brings harm to me will be punished.
No, you're mistaken. I simply want to be loved by you. I love you more than anyone in this world.
Me? I don't even know you. Suddenly, my heart went cold. He doesn't know me at all.
Lady Olympia, please love me.
Get away from her. Oh. Himuka. I know you're gonna probably try to protect me, but what's the escalation gonna be? Say any more and I'll turn you into a show. Do you accept the honor of being offered to Lord Hiroko? Himuka, don't say such a thing!
Who are you?
I am the world's undertaker, and the most powerful wielder of Batsu. I can erase you in a blink of an eye.
Hey, it's the Undertaker from Yomi! What's he doing with Lady Olympia?
Look at him, he's carrying a skull. Well, at least he's trying to help.
He must have picked it up at Corpse Beach.
I felt a new sense of frustration and sadness at the onlookers' relentless mockery and contempt. I was like, why you been... I was like, guys are watching us like it's a circus or something. Like, she needs help.
Undertaker, stay away from Lady Olympia.
Hello? Say that to Enji.
The plaza is no place for someone as tainted as you.
Leave, don't ever set foot in here again.
Go away, you filth.
What? He's like the only one trying to help. My frustration continued to grow and grow. Himuka's demeanor may not sit well with some, but...
Lady Olympia, please step away from him. What if you're defiled too?
That creepy skull, he's carrying death on him. If you get infected with Haku, the sun would. Unable to tolerate any more of it, I stepped forward. All of you! I apologize for any disturbance my friend may have caused. But I must ask that you all hold your tongue. Insulting him in this way is insulting to me. I will not tolerate any disrespect towards him. As silence fell over the crowd, Enji looked away with disappointment. Let's go, Himuka. I whispered close to his ear, then took his hand in mine and walked away. Well, a lot of people saw that. No, not Nagusa. Nagusa. No. I mean, if you try, I won't cry if you turn into a show crystal, but don't try something. He's gonna try something. He did it with Kuroba. He's gonna think like, oh, Himuka must be an easy target, right? Because he's not of any color class. He has no backing. Alright, Nagusa's gonna try something. I'm sorry. The first thing he did once we left the plaza was apologize. At least he seemed to be aware of what he had done. It looked like you were in trouble, so I wanted to get rid of him. I guess that was like the fastest way you could. Himuka, I appreciate your concern, but have you forgotten what I told you before? I haven't. Each word you say to me is so important that I could never forget. But you look like you were in danger. I let out a small sigh. I mean, you can't like reprimand him that much. Like he was the only one who helped. Listen carefully, Himuka. I'll say it again. No matter what happens, don't threaten people like that. I mean, sometimes you need to put your foot down. And maybe just threatening to use Batsu is better than like having other people have their way with you. Even if it's just a bluff. It's really easy for Batsu to take somebody's life. I was saying that to reprimand myself as well. I would never let it happen again. I understand. I'll be careful next time. Here he goes again. It was the same when I met him down in Yomi. When I spoke to him then, he was so apologetic that he kept looking down on himself. He was so bold and strong earlier, but in front of me, he's meek and apologetic. I would say thank you. Be like, thank you for, like, helping me out of this situation. But please be careful. You aren't the kind of person to fall in love with such a man. I felt a sharp twinge as though I had a hangnail. What does he mean by that? Is that the image he has of me? I am just very happy to talk to you. I have dreamed of talking to you for so long. Come to think of it, something about back then didn't feel right either. What's wrong? I'm sorry if I said something bad again. His earnest eyes were definitely looking at me. He believed in me without any doubt. You don't even know me. Is it about what happened yesterday on the boat? All the times to bring it up. You can forget about it. That was a mistake. No. The passionate embrace. Your skin is really hot. I suddenly remembered the sensation of his fingers against my skin. His cold fingers that carefully caressed my cheek. You said that was a mistake? I didn't have the courage to ask him that now. If I did, it meant his feelings I had for him was... Don't worry. I somehow managed to give him a gentle smile. If I allowed my emotions to come through now, things would be shown to him that shouldn't be. I'm not angry at all, but can you promise me one thing? Promise me that you'll never use Batsu on anyone, or even use it as a threat. Come on, like let the man like use what he has in his arsenal. Like there's bad people out there. There's Nagusa out there. I would love it if like we had a repeat of Yosoga's route and like Nagusa just got put in his place. I understand. I promise. He wasn't looking at me. Even so, I couldn't bring myself to hate him.
Look how white she is. She's so creepy.
I know very well that humans can easily distance themselves from others. His silvery ashen hair was similar to mine. I couldn't deny that I wanted to protect him as though he was my own family. Himuka, I have something to do, so I'll be going. Of course. See you again. Alright, well, the promise is to meet up again. Bye.
Oh? Someone looks love-struck. So something happened?
All I came here for was to have a delicious cup of peach tea to get my mind off things. But he immediately noticed something was on my mind.
Nothing special. Now, if your search for a husband does not go well, it'll mean trouble. You can tell me.
I just feel like Himuka sees me as someone else.
Ah, you noticed.
You know something?
I was somewhat concerned by his demeanor when you were both here before. But...
Why just but? Come to think of it, Yosuga did seem to notice something before.
He no doubt holds you in high esteem, although... How should I say this? It verges somewhat on idolatry.
Idolatry? That makes sense. Yeah, he doesn't really see us as a person. You aren't the kind of person to fall in love with such a man.
Perhaps it is Olympia he longs for.
The correct answer is, or someone who looks like me. If that's true, the only other reason I can think of is maybe there's someone else who looks like me. I took a sip of the sweet, fragrant tea.
You were not acquainted before now, were you? Perhaps you bear resemblance to his first love.
First love? I couldn't help but repeat it. I most likely didn't know what love was. It was something I'd only read about before. I mean, who else looks like Byakuya except for Byakuya? Unless they're talking about, like, child Byakuya. Like Yosoga. Most of the books I read portrayed first loves as something important and sacred. There's no way I can compare to his first love. My shoulders slumped when it struck me. Compare? Compare what? Me? Against her? Huh? Your face is gloomy again today, too. As Yosuga briefly explained the situation, Camelia's expression grew just as gloomy. I'm gonna have to side with Lord Himuka on this. Yosuga and I looked at each other, surprised. I've heard a lot about Lady Olympia from Lord Tsukiyame. So much that I really long to see you. Lord Tsukiyame kept telling me that I'd be able to see you one day, but he never told me when. I never met anyone from the White before, so I imagined so many things. I'm sorry, maybe that sounded a little rude. Anyway, I just knew that I had to see you. There are a lot of people here who have longed to see you. So I hope that you don't see it as something bad. But I hope that, like, we can become more of, like, a person, right? Like, Camellia, we're friends now. We're not just some description. Some far-off, like, deity that we've, like, heard about. I mean, I was able to become your friend, right? I'm sorry, that sounded selfish. It's only a doll's silly ramblings. Not at all. Thank you. I gently took Camelia's hand. You're right. We are friends now. Maybe I was just being stubborn. Camelia tightened her grip on my hand. Her hand was cold yet gentle. Camelia, you're my dear friend and always will be. Whether you're a human or a doll. Indeed, there are many cases when admiration turns to love. He is still unaccustomed to socializing, so we will see in time. In time? I wonder if that means something will happen. Maybe that means Himuka may eventually become my husband. Oh. I pushed myself away from the table to shake the embarrassing thought from my mind. What's the matter? What are you blushing about? I'm not blushing. Not at all. How about I lend you this? This book's called 50 Ways to Gain His Love. That was that magazine, right? From Tokisada's route, trying to get dating tips from, like, another world. Camelia brought out a book from her pocket. Its cover was worn and faded. Ah, did you find this on the beach? That's right, I actually got it as a gift from Lord Tsukiyami. It has all the details in it on how to make a date a success. What's Tsukiyami doing? Like, he made the doll, right? Like, so I just like, well, I'm gonna teach it some weird things here. Read this dating magazine. Do you mind if I take a look at it? Alright, well, we're gonna use dating tips on Himuka now. That would surely fluster him. Alright, back to the mana. Suggested locations. An amusement park or the aquarium? Yeah, those don't really exist on this island. I keep seeing these words over and over again, but I never heard of them before. Or maybe they're called something different here? Could they be somewhere on this island? I returned to the manor and was reading the book while sitting on my balcony. If you notice a lull in the conversation, take a moment to look deep into your partner's eyes. When the opportunity arises, be bold and reach out to hold onto his hand. I appreciate Camelia lending me the book, but it doesn't seem to tell me what I want to know. Oh, Daifuku.
Hime, you've been reading that book all night.
Daifuku climbed up onto the bench and stared at me curiously. Daifuku, about my search for a husband.
Any luck?
I think I'm interested in Himuka. But I'm not sure if he's a good candidate to be my husband.
There's no need to rush to a decision. Maybe you can spend more time with him and get to know him a little better.
Well, at least Daifuku didn't write him off instantly. Like Yosuga, I don't think Daifuku wasn't supportive of Yosuga, was he? He was just like, oh. Daifuku was squeaking at me enthusiastically. I don't know if you'll get hamburger from him, though. I felt sorry I couldn't understand what he was saying at a time like this. His hair looks like mine. I suppose it just brings back memories. I feel drawn to him somehow. I played with my hair for a moment. And I can't seem to get him out of my mind.
It must be love.
Listen carefully and promise me. Promise me that you'll find your true love and live as happily as your mother has. I just know the other half of your soul is out there somewhere in this world. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do well. You are your father's daughter. My mother loved my father. I should have asked her what he was like when I had the chance. I could have used him as an example.
I know. I'll ask Tsukiyomi. Hey, Fuku, would you like to accompany me tomorrow?
I would be delighted. I hope I can see this person you're interested in.
He hasn't met him yet? One of you's like scared of him. Like, oh, look at that skull. I took the sparkly-eyed Daifuku into my hands and headed back inside. Alright, next chapter. Left out. Oh, that's sad. You don't want to be left out of anything. Alrighty, it's another day. Another day on the island. Going down to Yomi. Are we going straight to Tsukiyomi? Like bathhouse. Okay, we're gonna check the letterbox first. Alrighty, it's time to take a little breaky break here. Some drama afoot. Wonder what are we gonna focus on? We're kind of like getting little bits and pieces that we got from like all the other routes. Talking about Haku, got the weird dating manual from Toki Sada's route. Yeah, this is like, maybe we're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna full on rebel, but maybe we'll fix something with the Hazushi. We don't want to see like people die for no reason. Alright, anywho, yeah, it's time to take a little breaky break. Maybe get some lunch. Get hydrated, and yeah, I hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.